are often polarized in their loyalty and quick to dismiss opposing voices. Speaking on BTS with creatives, with Joy News' Jacqueline and Suma Yebua, the TGMA award-winning rapper said the current environment allows little space for neutrality. And he says, quote, once someone is a fan of an artist, they are either for you or completely against you. There is no middle ground anymore. And sometimes those fans can make other artists feel like they don't matter. But you have to block out the noise. Lyrical Joe is the one saying this. And we'll be speaking to Lyrical Joe to find out the reason behind this and maybe find a way of, is it advising or telling people what support for creatives, for artists really means. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Lyrical Joe is here. Good morning, Lyrical Joe.
Hey, good morning, big one.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing great here. And we just read this story in an interview that you did with Jacqueline talking about the cult-like fan culture in Ghana's music industry. What makes you so worried about this?
All right. So I think it's something that I faced coming up, and I feel like more that are going to come after me would also face it. In what sense? What I meant was, it got to a point, and even me as an artist, I don't want my fans to be like that. As much as you enjoy having your fans to you and everything, I don't want them to be like that. And as much as if it is my style that they know about, that is it. Loving the person goes beyond the music at this point. It's about the person, the person's lifestyle, who the person is married to, what other thing the person is doing. They invested into the person that much that they would not want to even give an opening ear to anything new or anyone. No matter what anyone else does, it has to be trashed because it is not their person. So when it's like that, it's not even about the music. It's not even about the person being good or not. It's about, it is this person. And then some other fans too they are self-arrangement type of people. This artist is big and it's so nice to talk good about him. So let's join. Let's join this person. And you see, sometimes you see even the A-listers complaining about this sometimes because they even say complain and be like, as soon as this guy just came yesterday and he's the one popping, you've forgotten about us, you don't want to respect us anymore. You see the thing. So it has to do with belonging, sense of belonging to the camp that is doing it, or everyone is loving, but not even about the music nor the talent anymore.
Joe, is it not what we call loyalty? If the fan is attached to an artist, is it not right for them to, quote unquote, die for them?
This is not loyalty. This is blind loyalty. It's when you are beyond loyalty. Loyalty doesn't mean that you can't say the truth. The fact that I'm loyal to my boss doesn't mean that if he says someone stole something, truly the person stole it without me finding out. That's not loyalty. That's way beyond loyalty. That's corruption.
But you also agree that these fandoms have really helped some artists in this country and elsewhere. It's not even a Ghanaian thing. Elsewhere, we have fan bases or fandoms that support the craft of artists.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we look at the other side of it, the benefits as well?
That side is good, and that side can be achieved with your fans loving you, but not going beyond that. You understand? And we are the same people, or the entertainment pundit, or the other artists that have come like before, like that is already there. We are the same people that are going to turn around and be like. And sometimes you guys who face the heat, you'll be like, right now, all of the artists are sounding the same. Everyone is dressing like this person. What do you think brought that? This is exactly what brought that. Because now, if being me is not going to get me loved, I'd rather look at the other artists. What is he doing that is getting him loved? Then you start being like that person, start singing like that person, start dressing like that person. Because you need his fans as well.
Do you think there is a role that various artists can have in checking some of these things regarding how their fans behave? Do you think they can come in and check this in any way?
Unfortunately, the power that lies in their hands is just like 15%. Because no matter what, you can't. Yeah, when your fan, you can only come in when someone is going like beyond too much, and then you come and say one, two things. But as much as they are your fans, you can't keep hitting on them that, hey, don't do this, hey, don't do that. You will get tired. But all I'm saying is that let's have our favorites, but still have open mind for new style, new talent, new looks and everything, and love them, welcome them as well. Even though you have your favorites, that's all.
Have you personally had any encounter like that from a fandom or a fan base?
Oh, plenty. But I know the next question. Which fan base? I'm not. I've had. I mean, that has been some of my toughest this thing battle and war I had to face coming up, and it's crazy.
When you say plenty, do you mean different fan bases or one particular fan base?
Different fan bases.
Wow, Ghanaian fan bases.
Yeah.
Are they? Which genre? Which genre of fan bases are these?
Oh, but me, I do rap, so I can't talk about other people. I can only talk about what I have seen and what I've experienced, like the hip hop, especially where you see at the point where somebody will tell you that, but the way you rap is so nice. So why haven't you and this person done something yet? Some of these things are playing past because sometimes two fans, even your fan base and that person's fan base, have already gone artists, and they will tag their favorite artists, and a whole lot is going to be like a whole lot is already going on. So this doesn't even have to do with just people's fan base. It has to do with even me, my fan base, everyone.
You had a lyrical beef with Amrado. Did the outcome bring you more, maybe quote unquote, enemies from his side?
Oh, I mean, definitely. I wouldn't say it brought me enemies from his side, one, because already his fan base wasn't my fan base before this whole thing went on. I had my fan base and he had his people as well. His fan base wasn't mine. Maybe some of them didn't have a reason to not like me before the beef, and the beef gave them a reason to not like me. But on a normal, it's not like already his fans were my fans, and when we beefed, I lost my fans. No. You just have people not liking you for not their own, for a reason that is not their own reason, just because you had a beef with this person. And the same thing. I have people in my fan base that before I went, I had a beef with a certain artist. They liked the artist, and after that, they still like the artist. They can still play the artist's song or enjoy it, talk about them. And I've had people too that right after that they don't like the artist at all. It's going to be like, hey, why? It's because he had a beef with you. To a point where even if me, I'm okay with the person, still the artist has to deal with the fan.
All right. So have you personally encountered any Amrado fan maybe jabbing you under a post or something like that?
Oh, as for that one, they're playing. I mean, it's normal. I've encountered people jabbing me because of artists I've beefed with. And I've even seen my fans also, and the ones that I have the chance to reach out to. I've seen my artists also, putting out posts and things against the artists that when I have the chance to reach out to those fans, like that fan of mine, I would reach out and be like, Charlie, they do this. If you have a personal problem with the person because of this, that, but it shouldn't be because of me. I've had issues with even fan bases that are close, that I know that when I see them doing that, I'll have to put a hand on their shoulder and be like, no, don't do that.
And the amazing thing is most times these artists that are seen as arch rivals, they talk behind the scenes.
A lot.
How is your relationship with Amrad like now?
I mean, it's been a while since we spoke, but I wouldn't lie and say we didn't speak. Godfather and the Dusty put a call through once, and we spoke. We spoke about things and concerning the beef as well and all that, and then we left it there. But since then, it's been like that. But I wouldn't say we became tight like we used to be. No.
Okay, but there is no bad blood between the two of you.
No, not at all.
What implications do you think this type of fan culture has on the whole industry?
You see, as much as people want to backdoor it or backplay it, it's serious. It's very serious. And this, let me even take it away from our industry. These are some of the things that even some of the people, that the culture that we are doing, we have taken today. These are some of the things that ended their lives. The legends that we know, like we knew, talk of from Tupac to Biggie to the rest. Sometimes fan base or this whole thing fuels, like they will fuel it up. You understand? Where before you realize people are stabbing people because of two other artists. And you don't know. And it goes down to even political parties and everything. This thing is deep rooted than even music. So it's something that is there and the people know it, but it's just hard to go around it.
Since you brought this up, what is that solution, one solution you think we can proffer for this particular issue?
I mentioned it from the beginning. I'm like, it's okay to have where we can, it has to do with the mental, right? Like your mental state and everything. For you to psych yourself and understand very well that it is okay for me to be a Christian but not hate Muslims. If the fact that I'm a Christian doesn't mean a Muslim is saying something that makes sense, I should trash what the person is saying automatically because we are not worshiping the same God or speaking the same language. That's all. Open-minded. Let's be open-minded.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this morning on Daybreak Hits 103.9 FM, Lyrical Joe.
All right, welcome.
All right. So you just heard Lyrical Joe right there talking to us about the story, an interview he granted Jacqueline of Joy News a few weeks ago. And he was criticizing the cult-like fan culture in Ghana's music industry. Edem Mensah Chotame, a.k.a. 2nd August, is right here with us. My brother, how are you doing?
By the grace.
But what is that voice for? And it's on to me, Nkasa. At the mention of 2nd August, then you are shaking. Why? 2nd August is getting nearer and nearer. I hope by now everybody knows. So,
Lyrical Joe's birthday is 6th August or 5th August.
So you are diverting. Okay, that's okay, fine. I hope you're doing well. How is everybody?
Everybody's fine.
How is she doing as well? She's doing well. Okay, so Lyrical Joe is worried about this whole fan base thing. This is not the first time we're talking about this, but I think he's so concerned as well.
Yeah. I mean, he has every right to express his view, especially, I mean, coming from such industry. Maybe he's seen the other side of it, and I mean, with experience, he's trying to maybe caution the space of how they need to be very cautious of that thing. But I've always said that fan bases are part of brand communities, and brand communities are very essential to the growth of a brand. And for that reason, I mean, if recently in Ghana there was a party that is like where that culture is coming. You see bands, those who have bands coming up to have like a sort of gathering. Recently, Sama Mumin and a couple of people who have Range Rover, they had some level of convergence, and I mean it was a very nice party. They are brand communities, and brands have become very, very, very aware of such existence, especially the growth, increase as a result of the emergence of social media.
All right.
And consumers, like fans, do not only want to, transact. They don't want transaction. They want transactions to move beyond that and get into participation.
All right.
So in the era of participation, the brands, the communities are coming together to actively get involved in something.
Yeah.
Recently, we saw Stoneboy and his brand community have some fun games at the Accra Academy, right?
Yeah.
Where they played soccer. So it has moved from just consuming music to participation. Some of these people are getting involved even in corporate social responsibility. We've seen that the Lumba fan base go to, what do you call, unveil boreholes for communities among. These are some of
there are benefits.
The crucial aspects of, brand community. And don't forget that some of these people, when loyalty brings them together, they have what it takes to help brands get gigs and ambassadorial deals. Because, I've been in a meeting where people are looking at, okay, let's go and pick this artist. And they'll say that, Charlie, his fan base are loyal to the extent that if we pick him, our show is sold out.
Yeah.
You understand? So, fan bases move on to also become ambassadors of your brand by helping your visibility. Now, they share your brand messaging and other things, your music, all of these things with their network. So if I'm a fan of Kwame Eugene, I'm a fan of Kwame Dazi, and I share all the messages, I share all the things Kwame Eugene is doing with my network, what I'm doing is that I'm amplifying the brand Kwame Dazi or Kwame Eugene. So it even goes into merchandising.
Yeah.
That when brands get themselves into, expanding the goodwill of their brand into other commercial ventures, these brand communities who are loyal to the brand engage in patronizing these products. So there's so much benefit driving your music, your engagement online, among other things. So these importance of the brand community are so enormous that I always urge musicians or celeb or any other person involved in some of these things to be very particular about shaping the narrative of their brand community. Because
how do they do that?
You can do that, some form platforms. So like they have WhatsApp groups, they have even some have groups who do meet physically.
Yeah.
So they have leadership. So you can have leadership of all of these groups.
Yeah.
So if you have such leadership spanning from various, areas, when somebody is going beyond the mission and vision of that community, the leadership can help locate.
Oh, so you think they can control it?
Of course. From that leadership top-bottom approach. You understand? So if a certain Kwame Dazi is a fan of, say, Mr. Hagler, and Kwame Dazi is always misbehaving, misfiring on social media, because you have some leadership, you can bring them, this Kwame Dazi, who knows this guy? Then the brand leaders
you might not have all of them on one platform. They may be scattered across various places.
The leadership can look through them from their members. You understand? So it's a strategy to find a way to, and it's not only even looking out for some of these people. At times, you want to control the narrative, and you want to control the way you are using them. So having them in groups, having leaders, you can have all year programs, other activities to positively, control how these people are used.
Yeah. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
A fan of yours, living somewhere in the northern region, who may not be on your fan base platform, is always abusing me on social media. How do you control that?
That is why I'm saying that. Recently there was something happening. Shatta, there was a program of and there were some of the groups SM movement coming from different parts of the country. So wherever the fan or wherever the person, he lives in a community. And there can be a way to find it. I'm not even focusing on just going to look out for misbehaving members, but how to control and shape the narrative over time. It's like how you are training up a child.
A culture.
Yeah, so you build a culture that it will get to a point that it will even be difficult. When he's doing certain misfiring, he realizes that no, this is not our culture. So, it makes him look odd and will conform. So, I want them to look at the enormous positive benefits of having these people and how you can nurture them over time.
Yeah.
And regardless, we can have some recalcitrant, but the positives will outweigh the negatives. We need to. I've seen WhatsApp groups where it get to points that I see some of the artists in some of the groups.
Okay.
You understand? So, because these fans are moving from just consumption to participation, the artists should also move from just enjoying the fans to also participation. So, the fan is coming with the interest of participation. The artist must also have the interest of participation so that as the fan is enjoying that participation and the affiliation, benefit, the artist can also enjoy the other enormous benefit which comes to having fan community. So let's not just allow them to do things they want to do, but let's be part of the narrative. And there are times too that the artists will enjoy that negative, behavior of the fandom. Where they can even urge the community on to go a certain tangent. You, the artist, should know that. That can also have a repercussion, because when your community always, don't forget that there is the brand image and there is the identity.
Okay.
You understand? So you voice the identity, when it comes to the identity, you voice it on the brand. But when it comes to the image, it's an interpretation of the identity. So when your identity of your community is always about marauding, attacking, you are creating a certain identity, and that will lead to a certain image out there.
Okay.
And that image can also take some opportunities away from the brand. That is why you should be interested in how your brand community creates a certain narrative out there, because their narrative, which becomes the identity out of the image, can have a negative repercussion on you, the brand. You understand? So it's like maybe a certain people using some cars, and the cars always getting accidents. There was a time that there was a type of car where people didn't even want to. This Antin 7. I don't want to mention the brand.
We know.
Like, Charlie, this car there.
We know.
So it's creating a certain brand image out there. So the artists should be very cautious, interested about how their community behaves.
Okay.
Because it has a positive or negative repercussion. It could have a positive or negative repercussion on how corporate Ghana engages them.
All right.
You understand? So,
okay, and we have Robert Clark on the line. He wants to add his thoughts to this particular topic. Robert Clark, let's speak to him now. Okay. Hello, Robert.
Hello, Kwame.
Hey, Robert.
very good.
Where you go there? Where you go there?
Oh, let's do some small trip to East Africa.
East
Kenya,
Africa.
Oh.
So are you back already?
Oh, I'm back. You see me in a bit, but I have to contribute to this because it's dear to my heart.
Okay, let's hear you. When you come in here, we talk about Kigali.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So I was analyzing the statement written by the journalist on Lyrical Joe's statement, and there's a particular section I'd like to just reiterate real quickly. It says that once someone is a fan of an artist, they are either for you or completely against you. there's no middle ground anymore, he stated. Then he added that, and sometimes those fans can make other artists feel like they don't matter, but you just have to block out the noise. So I've broken it down into three. Clearly, the first part, which is the fact that when someone is a fan of an artist, they are either for you or completely against you. There's no middle ground. That part, I think that I have an issue with, because in the first place, there's always a middle ground. I just want us to be clear about that. Not everyone is a hard fan of an artist, and there's a reason he himself, Lyrical Joe, got in late, but has fans, which means that before he got in, there were people who were listeners of other music genres or other artists who were in love with them, but somehow, somewhere, he was able to break through. It means there's middle ground, and that's how come that people were able to follow him. So we all don't want the same thing forever. Sometimes you're a fan of somebody, but you don't want the same thing forever. And sometimes we think we have what we like until we see what others have, and that gives us the opportunity to be able to switch. And we have the capacity to love more than one. So yes, you can be a fan of somebody and be a fan of somebody else. So I just wanted to clearly state that there is always a middle ground. You need to be able to find it. Now, other artists, the other thing that matter here is this. Winning fans is not automatic, because the way he projected, it almost feels like, you don't need that kind of call so that it allows for people to be able to get into the space. But the reality is that it's a market space, and people are going for the segments that they feel can fuel their success. So anybody who wants to come into the space needs to understand that winning fans is not automatic, and you need to be able to pay your dues. You need to be able to do what you have to be able to win these people over. Now, the fan spectrum is actually a very long one. We have people moving from then they follow you. When they follow you, basically they get information into your feed. Because when you follow somebody, whenever they have information, it comes into your feed. Then you have the fans, that is people who invite or who invest into your craft. So when we say a fan, we are not talking about somebody who just likes you or somebody who just follows you on social media, so to say, but somebody who actually goes to the extent of investing even into your fans. So if there's there's a show of some sort, the person is going to pay and come and watch, or there's a match. Then we have the point that defies logic. That is the stand. When somebody stands, so it goes beyond everything logic. This is heavily emotional. And these people exist. And for the most part, a lot of artists want to be able to get to this part, because once they have you, it simply means that their music consumption is guaranteed, their merch consumption is guaranteed, their show participation is guaranteed. You having bookings and using this as a particular base to inform how much you charge is guaranteed. Your voice in the music space is guaranteed, because they always amplify your values and whatever you project. Your impact in terms of music is guaranteed. Your influence within the space is guaranteed. And the market that keeps you going on and on is guaranteed. So really, it's about cultivating the followers. So you want a cult, quote unquote, you want to be able to cultivate your followers, so to say. I think the challenge here is when the people that you have cultivated begin to do the wrong thing, and that we must always speak against. And that is also very important. And we've seen this. I think that probably we need to take time and look into the Gaza situation with the man who just came out of jail. I've forgotten his name. The dance all.
Vibes Cartel.
Vibes Cartel. We need to get into that space and understand the amount of influence he had on people, up to the point that when he asked them to bleach their skins, they were even bleaching, put on tattoos, that kind of stuff. Where if they ask you to wear Clarks, they would go and wear it. That's a level of influence that we need to be able to understand and study, because that kind of following is crazy. And anybody who's able to attain that, yes, economically you have huge benefits, but that also simply defies logic and reasoning, and we need to be able to clearly understand that. But if anybody is able to gather that kind of following and use it for the good, for positive stuff, at least there's huge benefit. So yes, Lyrical Joe has the right to be able to react about situations of this nature. But I think that when we have spectacular stuff of this nature, what we need to do is to clearly study it and see how we can extract the benefits and learn from the benefits to enable our own growth and development in this particular case with respect to music business.
There is a third point that you didn't even expatiate to block out the noise. Block
Yes.
out the
So,
noise.
yes. So the blocking out the noise, I think he himself gave a solution to it, because to say you are blocking out the noise, it means that you are preventing yourself from hearing what they are saying and following a trajectory that you know is the way out. And it is necessary for people to be able to do that. If they are speaking against you, speaking against what you represent, you need to be able to be persistent with what you're doing so that that does not affect you. Because if you allow the negative to affect you, then that's what it means. And sometimes when we say blocking out the noise, you realize that really the number of people who are speaking are just the loud majority, not they're just the loud minority, not the silent majority. So a few folks are speaking. It doesn't even matter if you say the whole of Twitter, because you can go and check the number of people who are on Twitter in Ghana, and you realize that they are not even up to, I think they're not even up to 1 million. So we need to be clear about blocking out the noise or even sieving through information that comes to us. Sometimes we assume it's everybody, but it is not everybody. So yes, we have to be very careful. I just recently watched Anna Marie interview where she said that she's shocked that people didn't like her that much, and when she came back home from the performance that she did at the at the Coachella, she got massive love, and she realized that it wasn't everything that was happening on social media that represented the truth in terms of the people around in the country. So again, it's about blocking the noise, but we need to also be able to block it insightfully. Some of these details, some of these facts and figures will help you appreciate that, yes, the noise is worth blocking, because really there is always a loud minority, and you need to be able to block what they are saying and not assume that that is a majority speaking.
All right. Thank you, Robert Clark. We're waiting for you. Still here on Daybreak Hits 103.9 FM. We are on Showbiz Review now. We just spoke about Lyrical Joe's comment about the cult-like fan bases. Yeah, that is a big problem to him and other industry stakeholders. Now, coming up, some people are fighting. Some people are fighting in Kumasi over the name Kumawood. When we come back, we delve into that. popularly known as SamDakus, has sparked a fresh wave of debate within the creative space. And he has declared that there is no movie industry. But even more serious is what he has said about the claim that he originated the name Kumawood. he brought the name Kumawood. That is what SamDakus is saying. And I saw another interview where Samuel Nyameche of Miracle Films is also saying that no. Before SamDakus did the Kumawood and Akobin Festival and Awards, he had already used the name Kumawood. It came from his mouth. So that's the big conversation here. It appears in this industry, almost everybody is laying claim to something that they originated. You know, it's Reggie and the other people claiming, okay, Hip Life is mine. I brought it. I named it. Some people saying, oh, Hip Life, the genre was there before the name came. There have been other controversies regarding even Azonto. We have the Gas Millers, we have the other people all talking about that. Then even recently, African dancehall. Now it is about Kumawood, and we have SamDakus right now on phone. Good morning, SamDakus. Good morning.
Yes, sir, good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Doing fantastic here. And we've seen stories about an interview you granted Sean City TV. You spoke at length. There is one thing you said that has tickled our fancy, and that is the fact that you said you are the originator of the name Kumawood.
Yes. Let me take this opportunity to say good morning to your listeners.
Okay.
Yes. Kumawood is mine.
Kumawood is yours.
Yes, the name Kumawood. You see, we have Kumasi film production, like Kumasi Films, but the word Kumawood, I brought it. Yes.
I watched the interview where you said it was Efia Schwarzenegger who suggested that name to you.
No, it wasn't like she suggested the name to me. No, it was like I was having the name already. I was registered the name already, and we met on set, and I explained it to her. And 1 week later, I came to Accra, and we met, and she suggested the awards, like we should use the name to do Kumawood Awards. So it was the award that she suggested.
Oh, okay. So which particular year did you come out with this name?
Okay, so like when if you have your phone, you can Google it. You can go to Wikipedia, or even on WhatsApp, AI. If you search who founded Kumawood, you will see my name there, Samuel Kwabena Dako. You see the year that I came by the name Kumawood. But I started using the name right from 2010, 2012, where I gathered all the media in Kumasi, and then we launched the name Kumawood and Akuben Film Festival. That was when the name started coming up.
So are you saying prior to this particular festival and awards, the name was there? Can you please give us the name, since most of us may not have access to check it right now? Before the festival was launched, which year exactly did you come up with this name?
That was 2006.
2006?
Yes.
Okay. So before that, was it not a conversation? Was it not a name that was already being used by the media during that time?
No, there wasn't a name called Kumawood at that time. There wasn't a name called Kumawood. It was like people were talking about Kumasi movies. I came to meet Kumasi movies. But the word Kumawood, I brought it.
And if you say you brought the name Kumawood, what brought about this whole conversation? Because for a long time, nobody has even spoken about who owns this name or who created it. But all of a sudden, we've heard and seen the stories all around. What brought about it?
I think Sean City came to my office and then they were interviewing me concerning the Kumawood Awards, whether I'll bring it back or something. We were talking about it, and that thing came across.
Oh, okay. So it was out of a conversation on the award.
Yes.
Okay, but have you heard Samuel Nyamiche also respond to this bit of the conversation?
Yes, I've heard it, but then later on he confessed that the name is mine.
He confessed where?
Oh, we were both of us were on Meet FM last week.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he confirmed on air.
Yes.
That you were right.
Yes, I can even send you the audio if you want me to send it to you.
Okay.
But one thing he was also concerned about, he mentioned the name at the Kwame Uswan's funeral, which I was not there, and that Kwame Uswan's funeral was around 208. Yes, if I could remember, around 208. By that time, the name was there already.
Oh, okay. So what happened to the Kumawood and Akobin Festival and Awards? What happened to it?
Yes, we started after the luncheon. We did the maiden edition 2011, 2012, 2013, up to 2017. Then I stopped because of one or two things. Yes, I stopped.
What are the one or two things?
Okay. Basically, we don't have like auditorium in Kumasi to organize such big event. Normally, we organize it at hotels, and then they don't have a big conference center that can contain a lot of people. So, the industry players, by the time you open your eye, the industry players have filled the place. Like the place is full. So it was difficult for us to get revenue because when the industry people come, they don't pay. They just come with their friends and then fill the place. So we're finding it difficult, one, to have sponsors and then to also get revenue. That was the reason why we hold on.
Okay, so SamDakus, basically it's a financial issue, because if you tell me you did not have any place to hold the event, there are a lot of hotels still operating, and I think they have spacious, auditoriums there that could occupy the people.
What I'm saying is, if one star is coming and its people is around 7 or 10, calculate them. Which place will you get in Kumasi to, host such a program? You understand? So it was a financial program. Yes.
Okay, so that's about the Kumawood and Akobin Festival and Awards. Okay, so that's the state now. You're also quoted to have said that we don't have a movie industry.
Yes. We were also talking, and then I made mention of that. Basically, we have film associations. For the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen an industry where we have a federation, we have board members, we have chairman, we have, the secretary and the financial secretary, and then also a government representative board that can spearhead the affairs of the film industry. I haven't seen that. So he asked me, and we were talking about it.
SamDakus, there is the National Film Authority, which is a government agency that comprises people from the various sectors of the film industry. Have you not heard of them?
basically, we were talking about Kumawood. It wasn't like Ghana.
But Kumawood forms part of the Ghanaian film industry, right?
But we don't have Kumawood industry.
You don't have Kumawood industry.
No, we don't have a word Kumawood industry. We have Kumasi film industry, fine. But the name Kumawood, we don't have an industry for it.
But at least there is an industry operating in Kumasi or the Ashanti region for film, right?
Yes, fine. That's what I said. We have associations. They are working. I mean, I'm part of them. We are working. But as a board, we don't have it.
There is a new association that has been formed, kind courtesy the Ashanti Regional Minister, the Kumawood Ashanti Film Association. Are you part of it?
I'm not part of it because I didn't hear about it initially. I think that was the reason why the Sean City came and they interviewed me, and later on, I got to know about it.
Okay, so after getting to know about it, do you have any intentions of joining the association?
Oh, I am part. I am ready for it. I am part for it. I'm a producer. I'm a director. I'm an actor. So I am part. I'm fully part of it. But I don't like them to use the name Kumawood. We are still talking about it. We haven't agreed on certain things because I have used the name to do a lot of things. Privately, I have used the name to do a lot of things. So if they want to use the name, at least there has to be a negotiations.
What do you mean by negotiations? Do you need money?
I don't need money, but I need recognition.
How do you want it done?
I don't know, but you see, like you I don't know whether you even know that I brought the name Kumawood. I just need a recognition that he is the founder of the name. That is it.
Okay,
I don't need money. I know Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. You can't pinpoint and say this is Kwame Nkrumah's building, but his name reigns forever. That is what I want. Let's give credit to, who is due. That's what I want.
You've said that you are willing to be part of this association, yeah, but you want recognition for you coming up with the name Kumawood. Whom are you seeking this recognition from?
That's why I said there's negotiations going on, but I don't want to come out with
Okay, between you and who exactly?
I received a representative from the regional minister at my office somewhere 2 weeks ago. Yeah, getting to 2 weeks ago. So we are discussing something. It's not yet concluded. That's why I don't want to talk about it.
SamDakus, what do you think is the biggest challenge of the Kumawood industry? Let's talk about Kumawood. Or the Kumasi film industry. Kumasi film industry.
That's it. Okay, so the biggest challenge is, in every sector, every industry, every decade there's a change. We came to meet Piamonko Patrikotum. Along the line, CD came, and then this time is about social media. So we have to promote the social media to our old ladies and then our papas, so that those who are interested in our movies will go online and watch it. Other than that, there's no way the CD will come back again. So all of us should promote the social media so that we can also get revenue from there and shoot the movies.
People like Sokrit Safo have moved that we should not completely leave out the CDs. We should just add that to the new media. Do you agree with him on that?
I don't agree with him because those who invest in even the CD deck, they are not investing again. So if you do the CD, where are you going to slot in and play it? Are you getting my point?
I'm getting
now,
you.
The new devices are coming. So if you think that we should go back to CDs, I don't know his point though, but I don't think it will work.
You don't think that will work as in adding that to the online or the new media?
Yes, because like I said, we came to meet Piamon Call. Those big cassettes. I don't know whether you yourself, I don't know whether you have some. And I don't know whether you have CD deck in your room right now. So if you promote us to do a CD, where are we going to play it? Where? So if you sit down and think about this, the industry will move ahead, and you are thinking that you fade out.
Okay. When was the last time you produced a movie?
Basically, I came into this industry like I wasn't shooting movies regularly. I was like doing a TV series. If you could remember, Abrabomo Nsem on TV3.
Yeah.
We were shooting it on later we were showing it on Adom TV. So I think I've started that one and I'm shooting it on social media, YouTube and other places.
Oh, okay. So you are using new media more now?
Yes.
How is it going?
Oh, very well. Very well.
Have you discovered any new talents in recent times?
Oh, yes. Of course, yes.
How do you find their performance in acting?
Yes, they are also doing well. They are doing well. But you see, we need to groom more people. And then, like, I always comment Dr. Likey and then the rest. They have done well, and then to promote the social media, and then to also come out with the new artists, which is great. So let's all come together and switch to social media, because whether we like it or not, that is the trend now.
Okay, I love that. And by saying that, we should all come together as well and move the industry forward. Thank you so much, SamDakus, for speaking to us this morning on Daybreak Hits.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you just heard SamDakus, who is a movie producer based in the Ashanti region. He says he is the originator of the name Kumawood. So Kumawood Ashanti Film Association, they need to come and see him. Adam.
Yeah, Kwame, I think I'll look at it from two perspectives. The one he's talking about the industry.
Yeah,
the industry is there. You know, we can say the industry is not functioning where it's supposed. Like, I mean, the rates or the level is supposed to. But I mean, when you look at the movie industry, you're talking about the production, you're talking about the distribution, the exhibition. All of these are there, and if you come to the associations, like you said, all of these are there, and there are some people who are still going through these. Facets of the industry and producing movies as it stands. However, we expect a certain level of advancement or development, which we've not seen over the period. So, clearly it's a wake-up call to the National Film Authority, because you need a certain umbrella body to be able to ensure that certain policies emanate from the bottom, and the leadership take those policies into real measures
All right.
to be implemented to the bottom. So, this should serve as a wake-up call to them. Over the years, we have been complaining, and I'm sure that those there and the person who left knows that, indeed, we have serious issues with our industry which need to be fixed. Because, the longer the problem exists, it makes the sector not attractive to investments, and certainly it will push people away, and gradually that value, the economic importance that sector could have provided, will be lost. So leadership need to, as a matter of urgency, ensure that level of oxygen needed to make the place active is given out. On the other side, I understand the point he's trying to make about he wants to now say, over the periods, like he was like, oh, I proposed a name, or I suggested a name, and it's become...
He registered it for so many things.
Exactly. So he wants something from his intellectual property. It's become his intellectual property to some extent, and he feels that it has gained a certain national acceptance to the extent that the new association or group which the original minister unveiled has his property in there. And as a result, he's looking for some level of recognition. He says no money, but whichever form, there is nothing wrong with that. That maybe you've suggested something, you created it, and it's accepted widely, and you want recognition. But what I want to urge him is that, in as much as it is for him, he needs the recognition, he shouldn't make it too personal. Else, the other side will not come on board. It's about bridging. If you are not careful, you can't even sustain the award, because people will think that and we have that mentality.
Yeah.
So he should learn to extend than just do a main kwan. When it happened that way, the other side will also decide, maybe you say maybe boa business and it becomes difficult. We should look at in bridging, so that at the end of the day, when the success comes, we all enjoy together.
All right, thank you, Edem Mensah Chotome, journalist. And joining us here from Kigali is the man, Robert Clark. Charlie, you left for like 1 month now, right?
Oh, no. Just been 2 weeks now.
2 weeks? How was the trip? How was the journey?
Oh, it was good. I went to Kenya first.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed to understand. There were quite a number of things I had to do, like 3 main areas. One for music. So I needed to understand the music space. I needed to also understand... there is a partnership that TJMA is looking at with respect to a particular, like the benefits are supposed to spread, within the space of the East Africa and all of that. So I needed to go there to understand what that was going to be like. That's one. And then the second part has to do with dance, because we are coming to have the dance festival in September. So I had to represent Ghana at their festival. So that happened. And then the third one has to do with education. There's an educational project I'm about to work on, so I needed to understand the space as well. So so all of that happened. So the same thing, whatever I did in Kenya, I went to do similar stuff in Rwanda. And Charlie, the people, they're not joking.
They're not joking?
Rwanda is Rwandaing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. You had any insight into the music industry?
Yeah.
Or the creative industry, if you like.
I think that I think Rwanda it's I just don't. It's not even about creative. It's about the people and their sense of discipline and nationalism and how they love their country and their respect and interest in how they want to be able to succeed. Kenya, you could feel the sense of internal political efficacy because you had the young people demonstrating, adding their voice, demanding what they wanted, and trying to get you to hear it. That kind of stuff. So these were things that were obvious, that were there. And obviously, yes, I heard Ghanaian music being played. There were social circles.
Did?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them?
Well, I heard Shake It to the Max. I heard the King Promise songs.
In both countries?
Yeah. And yeah, it was quite exciting. And and you could see, the dance scene as well also being in social life. Social life was heavy in Kenya. In terms of where I went to Rwanda, it was, it wasn't that heavy. But yes, I think that, a few days is not enough to be able to
make a conclusion out of
it. But and when I went to the Kenyan Museum, a number of things I learned, it was absolutely amazing. And I'm already thinking of what it means for us in Ghana with respect to our place, Charlie. But yeah.
We will get there.
We will get there.
Sure. Now to the topic for discussion. You already touched on Lyrical Joe's issue, but now SamDakus is saying that Kumawood is his property. And so the new association they formed for filmmakers in Kumasi, you should come and see him.
Yeah, so I don't think it's wrong for him to say that if indeed he registered it. It's like saying I registered Omo, and all of a sudden everybody says Omo is equal to washing powder. And so it gets to a point that somebody now says, okay, so let's build other forms of Omo. Then the person who owns it comes out and say, but I registered Omo as a company and I promoted it. So the fact that that has become the nickname or the de facto name that everybody is using socially does not necessarily mean that you should not give credit to who originated it. Even if it's not the one who originated it, first mover advantage always comes to play. If I registered it and I'm known for it, then it is mine. Then you need to be able to appreciate the fact that it is mine. Because in this particular case, it is not just a word being used loosely, but it is a word that is, if it's going to be used officially, then we need to understand that it is my brand. Yeah, it's registered in my name. Like I have, when I went to register, they gave me that power over that particular term or that particular phrase. And so we need to be able to appreciate the fact that that is what it is. So I think that he has a call. He's a bit unsure what he should be asking for, but what he's sure about is recognition. The other elements, I felt like he was open to whatever suggestions could come through, but again, it felt like, okay, I've created something, I had a vision for it, I have a term I'm using, and that term seems to become the household name, and people are using it for other reasons. I have every reason to be able to, point it out, and there's nothing wrong with that.
This is an association. It's not even a commercial entity.
Yeah, but the question is, if it's an association...
And he says he wants to be part of it. Association, something, okay, a group he's willing to be part of.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, so imagine that we have so Omo, and everybody's calling it Omo, and all of a sudden then somebody now say, let me use another name within the, what do you call it? So yes, okay, so Charterhouse.
Yeah.
Then now somebody gets up and say, okay, so I'm forming Charterhouse Association, and the Charterhouse Association is being formed by somebody else. And then they are inviting
that's
you.
Not a commercial, it's not a business entity. Then it becomes an association.
No. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you are forming an association called Charterhouse, and then you and I invite Charterhouse. Would you guys like to be a part of it? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So,
but it works seamlessly. Because we have things in common.
Yeah, but
it's easy to morph into
that. It's registered in my name.
Yeah.
So maybe at this particular point, he may not be seeing something, but
this is
I'm saying that
yours is a company limited.
But do you realize that if you go to the Registrar General and you're going to register something, and the name has already been used, they will not give it to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a reason why they don't do that. So what I'm saying is that you can form an association if you want, but the moment you want to register the association, you realize that the registrar will tell you this is not possible because this name has been used already, that kind of stuff. So I think that is a fair point. We need to be able to hear him out and also get to that point where when we want to form associations, we should also check with the Registrar General what names are available and not available so that we don't commit these errors, so to say. But I think that it's worth the talk and investigation, and then we'll all learn from it. I mean,
is he really the originator? Because I started following this game, I think it was the media that started using these terms. Yeah.
So for me, again, it could
be from somewhere.
It could be that
the media
it could be that he's not the originator, but he has registered it. that it could be that he's not the originator, but he's registered it. And so those
The
elements,
media was always smart in giving names to things.
they do.
Always smart. And I think they even use that name loosely.
Yeah. Like we have Nollywood, we have,
And,
Hollywood.
and William Ekufu also founded the Gallywood Academy. You remember?
Good. So,
Academy.
but there you go.
Gallywood.
You said what? Somebody.
It was even a school. The name of the
Yes,
school.
I remember
Gallywood.
it's on that stretch.
Yes.
What do you call it? No, when you're going to Central University, that particular stretch.
Where is that school though?
It's somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's-
Central University.
but you see, you are able to credit that particular name to somebody,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, let's pick your calls and tell us what you think about this. SamDakus is saying that Kumawood is his. And so if any association wants to, or any group wants to use Kumawood, they should come and see him. And then Lyrical Joe is not happy about the court-like nature of our fan bases here in Ghana. 03022216568 or 7 or 054884109. These are the phone lines to call in, do that right now. Yeah. So
Something that, so when he was speaking at some point, I wasn't too sure whether it was an issue of semantics or the general thing that people usually say, there's no industry. Then I wasn't too clear.
I think it's become jaded, if you like, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that there's always an industry. If you say the industry is not developed, then I agree.
But if there is no industry at all,
then it means that it's zero, but there's no economic activity in that particular sector, because what underpins the industry is the fact that there's economic activity. We have a series of businesses that are providing
To the extent
similar
that he himself
markets.
has awarded them
exactly.
before,
So then
with the
so
Kumawood
it's,
award.
it's
Exactly.
difficult for me to accept when people say that. You understand? If you say it's not developed, we understand. We are a developing country. It's a third world country, so we are not yet there. Then we know
okay,
what it
we
is.
have a caller online right now. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Chris from Ashama.
Okay, so which of the topics are you speaking to?
To the Kumawood something.
Okay, let's hear you.
So I've been thinking about this name. Let's take a name like Hollywood. I don't know if that name belongs to like one person.
No.
Hollywood is like a big thing. So looking at Kumawood, I don't think there's only one producer from Kumasi, because Kumawood is something like that originates from, when you talk about Kumasi, Kumawood, you are talking about films that are coming from Kumasi, and then let's say the local, let's say Chi-speaking movies. So this name Kumawood, whenever somebody mentions the name Kumawood, all our attention goes to like movies produced from Kumasi.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Ashanti region.
Ashanti region for sure. So I don't think one person should, claim the name that he is maybe the owner of the name, like Kumawood, because you don't own Ashanti region. You are not the only producer from Ashanti region. There are a number of producers from Ashanti region. Even though he says he originated, it's fine. We like, okay, for sure, there will be one person that will think about it. But since you originated it, the association that have been created in the sense that to cover the entire space of, as a movies produced from Ashanti region, should bear the name Kumawood, because the Kume and the wood, that blend of name, suits the association and then the creation of movies from that place. So if credit should be given to him for bringing out that name, fine, but like the name shouldn't be given to one person. It should be given to the entire movies produced from Kumasi. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much for your call. Do we have another call online? All right, now some of your messages right here. Let me zap through them. This one says, the best show live and clear inside Indianapolis, Kumasi, Tanosu, Kesbin Junction, and the main location. This is from Pedroa Maldina Cruz. We have this one says, super awesome, happy birthday to Triumphant Global Ministries, aka Chapel of Triumph, and especially today, on today being the 23rd year after coming into being. All we can say is God bless the visioneer, Reverend Abraham F. Ayila Bowo, for obeying God's voice. I, Jonas Tinkrang, yes, I am a great beneficiary of God's grace upon the ministry. Jonas Tinkran with that one. Ningobi Tete says LJ is currently the best in Ghana's rap culture. His album I Am depicts his skills and knowledge in the rap genre. All right, this one from L Hardstar. Eddie West says, Nekrakran is saying, yo, 5,000 boys. Now people are fighting over originator. Shaking my head. No co-originators. Original Cole Guda. Good morning, Mr. Dazi. I think SamDakus just wants some credits to his name, so we should just get him a telecell or Tigo network so he will have so much credits. We're trying too hard to get movie industries, and you are here fighting for titleship. So sad. Okay, final quick one. 30 seconds, last words before we leave. Robert Clark.
Yeah, I think that some of these things we need to. So because of all these conversations about who originated the name, who owns the name, and all of that, we're at the point that I think journalism has to be heightened. The stories of these things, the beginning, the documentation, and everything has to be projected so it's clear. And because once you give credit to the right people, we also need people to know this for the purposes of history. We should be able to get into this. I just typed who owns Hollywood, and the information is clear about the fact that it is not a person, it's a collective, it's a representation of a district.
Also.
Yes. And, so that information is available, and I'm able to get that. So we need to be able to get to that point where most of the things that we have are clearly spelled out for future generations to be able to, get this, the information we're looking for. I think that's with respect to the movie. With respect to LJ, I think that at the end of the day, it's important for if you want that cult, you have to cultivate your followers. If you want your
bar mind, the bar
if you want a cult follower, you have to cultivate your followers.
Good.
And be able to build them and use them to advance your music career, so to say. And I like the fact that he says that you need to block the noise. Yes, that's the attitude of the person who's looking to break through the cracks. So it is essential. And big ups to him. He should keep doing what he's doing.
All right, thank you so much for listening to us here on Daybreak Hits 103.9 FM. A big thank you to you, Adam Mensah Chotome, to you, Robert Clark,